So, as Elon Musk is continuing to dig into the details of how our government has been spending, or should I say, wasting our taxpayer money, the Democrats seem to be oddly outraged that the American people are being given a line item list about what they've been using our money for. And not only that, they're outraged at the idea of having these systems updated to be more efficient. And they're really mad that Elon Musk is recruiting the best of Gen Z, the very people that the Democrats use and elevate the most in their campaigns and messages, to get involved in how our government is run. It's so weird what these people choose to get upset about. So, who are these experts that are diving into the financial records of these agencies and exposing the waste and the fraud that has been rampant for decades? Let's get into it. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. I appreciate you being here. Do me a couple of favors. Hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me in the algorithm. Become a subscriber to my channel if you are not already, and help me to grow this channel because I do truly appreciate your support. And turn on your notifications so that you never miss out on a conversation like the one we're about to have. So the work of DOGE is moving forward at full speed, and they are uncovering a shocking waste of taxpayer money, one line item at a time. And the thing is, we all knew that our money was being wasted to some degree. So that's not really the surprising part of all of this. But I think knowing that it's happening to some extent, but having like a vague understanding of it versus being slapped in the face with just how bad it really is are two very different things. Because ultimately, I think most of us feel like if at least most of our money is going toward causes that benefit the American people or toward programs that truly benefit and uplift people in poor areas of other countries, we can deal with some waste to an extent because we can handle knowing that most of our dollars and cents are being used wisely. However, when you have somebody come in with the sole purpose of going through all of these records with a fine-tooth comb, and after just investigating one agency, it's discovered that about 80 to 90% of what is going on is waste and fraud, then that's what's extremely infuriating. And the American people are coming to find out that we have been financially taken advantage of to the point of abuse. And that is what most people are upset about. Myself and other commentators have already covered the long list of waste and fraud that has been uncovered just within USAID. And we're also finding out that just last week, FEMA sent $59 million of taxpayer money to house illegal immigrants in luxury hotels in New York. And this is after being told explicitly and under no uncertain terms by former White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre that this was completely untrue and that Donald Trump was lying about this happening. And not only that, we were told that FEMA didn't have money for our own people who have lost everything in hurricanes and fires. So it's just been report after report after report, like a fire hose, about how this money has been abused and used against us. And even now, because of their relentless lying, it's become impossible to wake some people up from the trance they've been put in by the ones who were being paid to spread the lies and hide the corruption. There is no one that has not been affected by this. And again, this is just the beginning. And there is no one who has a speck of honesty or integrity in their soul who would be against the work that is happening now. That is where we get to the mainstream media and those who still take them seriously, who are the people in America that operate neither with honesty, integrity, or a soul, who are diverting attention away from the corruption that they have been key players in covering up, who are now focused on riling their mindless base up to be upset about the wrong things, and in this case, to be outraged at Elon Musk and then the team that he has assembled to do this work, which is largely benefiting everyday American people. Now, some of the lies that the mainstream media are currently pushing is that the DOGE agency is illegal or illegitimate, that we should be afraid of Elon Musk as an unelected billionaire having access to our personal identifying information, and that he's hiring a bunch of inexperienced teenagers to run this agency, putting everybody at risk. These were the Democrats flipping out at a nobody elected Elon Musk rally.
You mean to tell me a man worth over $400 billion is going to decide what happens with my grandma's Social Security check?
No one elected Elon Musk to nothing. And yet, Elon Musk is seizing the power that belongs to the American people. We are here to fight back.
When we open up the Senate every single morning, we don't pledge allegiance to the billionaires. We don't pledge allegiance to Elon Musk. We don't pledge allegiance to the creepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America. And so I want to make sure that my mother gets her Social Security check, not because she pledges allegiance to Elon, but because she pledges allegiance to the United States of America.
People are so dumb. Let's remind these guys that no one elected Dr. Fauci or Randy Weingarten either, yet they were dictating policies that most of the country opposed. As far as not electing Elon Musk, first, there's no one in the executive branch of government that is elected except for the president and the vice president, and there are over 2 million workers in the executive branch of government. And the DOGE agency is already part of the government, as it was an existing agency from the Obama era called the United States Digital Service. There were changes made to the mission of the agency. The funding had already been allocated to it, and the name was changed to the Department of Government Efficiency. Not only that, Elon Musk has no power to divert funds or stop funds or control funds in any way. There are a couple of Treasury Department employees who have read-only access to the information, and they can pass on some of that information that is relevant to the purposes of DOGE. But it's minimal, and there are people working in the government right now to make sure that there is significant oversight to what DOGE is doing. Major changes that are proposed are still going to have to go through Congress, or in other words, the people that we did elect. And I'm on board with that because we all want to know what our money is being spent on, but we also want to have oversight on who is gutting it and making adjustments to these programs, because we haven't had a say in what these agencies have been doing with our money for years, and we haven't been asked our input on where our money is being sent. And you still have to wonder why the Democrats are getting upset about this. Because any sane person knows that whoever is screaming the loudest against exposing corruption has the most to lose from that exposure. And one of the things that they seem to be most upset about is the young men that Elon Musk has recruited to help him go through these records and update the system so that the records are more clear and what the money is being used for is easier to track. Which brings me to a clip that emerged earlier this week. As the media was drawing attention to a young engineer named Edward Korestein, who was known online as Big Balls, and he was recruited as part of Elon Musk's team of young prodigies to assist in the waste cleanup that obviously desperately needs to be done right now, and that the American people voted in favor of. And in looking to sharp young talent to help Elon with this mission, the media is using Edward's former online name as a means of discrediting him and making it sound like Elon is hiring people who are grossly unqualified for the job.
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside DOGE. And we looked into his background. And so we found several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.Sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains.
Of course, the media is going to pretend that Musk is just hiring a bunch of failed high school graduates or, just a bunch of hackers or video game players to run this department. But there's so much more than that. This article by the Huntington News, it talks about several of the people that Elon Musk has recruited. This one says Northeastern student identified as engineer for Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. It says a friend of Edward Korestein, who is the Big Balls guy, a first-year student at Northeastern, said tech billionaire Elon Musk is an idol to Korestein. Through high school, his goal was never really to go to college, the friend said. He really just wanted to build his own thing like Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates. Now, Korestein, a class of 2028 mechanical engineering and physics combined major, is one of a handful of young men employed by Musk at the new Department of Government Efficiency who has been given extraordinary access to sensitive government data as part of his designation as an expert within the U.S. government's Office of Personnel Management, Wired magazine reported February 2nd. The Wired article identified a group of young engineers, all 19 to 24 years old, who appeared on calls with government employees and asked them to review code they had written and justify their jobs. All the young engineers are believed to have connections to Elon Musk, who currently spearheads the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. According to Wired, Korstein spent 3 months last summer before starting Northeastern working at Neuralink, a company founded by Musk that develops brain implants. Other articles talking about Edward Korstein, it says that he has established at least 5 different companies in the last 4 years, with entities registered in Connecticut, Delaware, and the United Kingdom. Another one of these geniuses that Elon Musk has brought on is a guy named Luke Ferriter. This kid won a $700,000 prize for figuring out how to read a 2,000-year-old Greek scroll that was carbonized in Mount Vesuvius using AI code.
So I've always been interested in history. Growing up, I learned Latin. I was never that good at it, but I was always kind of into that sort of stuff, read a lot about the Roman Empire and things. And one day I was just listening to a podcast back in March. It was with Nat Friedman. He just kind of got on the podcast, explained like there are these burnt up scrolls that were buried in the Pompeii eruption. No one knows how to read them. But some professors have created CT scans of these scrolls, and they uploaded the data on the internet as a competition to see who could find writing inside of these scrolls. And when I heard that, I was just immediately like, oh my goodness, this is such a cool project. I have to work on this. I just went home from work that day at the end of the day, and I've been working on it evenings and weekends ever since. I run most of the things from my laptop. It's just a normal MacBook, don't worry. But then I've just got like 5 surplus computers in here. This is what I do most of my work from. I just spend hours upon hours staring at flattened pieces of the scroll like this, trying to find these patterns, which are part of the writing. At the start of the challenge, we had not been able to find any writing at all within these scrolls. There are hundreds of these scrolls that are from the mansion. We've scanned a couple of them, and no one had been able to find any writing in them using these methods. And I get a text from another person on the challenge team, and he says, hey, I've just uploaded this new kind of piece of the scroll. You should take a look at it. I remotely access my computer. I type into it like, please run the algorithm on this new piece of scroll. And then I just kind of start it. I pull out my phone again, just nonchalantly like, hey, I wonder how that went. And there are 3 Greek letters on the screen, letters I'd never seen before. It was really cool because it's like, oh my goodness, like we actually detected new writing in the scrolls using AI.
So those are just a couple of the tech geniuses that Elon Musk has recruited to work with him. They've got a couple more names here. There's Akash Baba, Ethan Shotran, and Gavin Klieger. And there's also another one named Gauthier Killian. And in this post, it says, mamas, come get your babies out of our government. The funny thing is, as the left is outraged about Elon Musk recruiting young adults to help clean up our government, this is what young people do when they are recruited by the left to work for our government. And I know Democrats will continue to call these guys hackers and rile up their mindless base to be afraid because of what they have access to. However, most of America, the sane part of the country, are appalled and horrified at what the people we did elect have done with the information that they've had access to. The experts, as government officials often like to deem themselves as, have been sending our money to everybody else but us. They've been wasting and laundering our money, and it's the people who have been in charge of it long before the Doge boys stepped in that are the problem. Most of us are not afraid of Elon Musk or Luke Ferriter or Big Balls going in and cleaning things up. We're actually laying awake at night, shocked at how long that this has been going on and how bad things really are, and horrified at the thought of what would have happened had Kamala Harris been elected, knowing this crap would have been kept from us, that this corruption would have continued by the same people who are screaming now about the fact that we're finding out. I would love to hear all of your thoughts on this in the comments below. Again, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and help me to grow this channel. That is so truly appreciated. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one.